Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, everyone. Introduce us from Group 5. I'm Isma Febriani as moderator, Autika Nurjana as the first speaker, Muhammad Agung Gumelar as the second speaker, and Bella Amelia Catherine as the third speaker. Certain the time, I read to the dimension of patient symptoms. Agung bisa di next aja slide-nya. Langsung ya yang ini. Ya. Dimension of patient symptom. Andin is suffering from stomachache. She is now in hospital and a nurse is helping her to recover. Reading the following conversation. Andin, oh, my stomachache is too bad. Mana?
Nurse, what does it like?
Andin, it seems a neat prick on my stomach.
Nurse, please, lie down here. I will give a first aid.
Thanks.
Nurse, this may help you to help the pain. Don't move, just lie down here for several minutes.
Thanks a lot.
Nurse, what do you feel now?
Andin, I feel better now.
Nurse, I am feel to hear that. Does the pain occur frequently?
Andin, no, I doesn't. I just suffer it.
Nurse, when did you feel it?
Andin, this morning, ouch, is hurt again.
Nurse, you are not totally cured. Then please still lie down here. The doctor will examine you.
Andin, can you give me a medicine?
Nurse, sorry, but you can use it to help the pain.
Okay. The present furthermore, the material will be continued by the first speaker, Autika Nurjana.
B. Useful expression. The following are useful expression used by nurse the intelli symptom of a patient. Where do you feel? Di mana yang kamu rasakan? Where does the pain? Di mana sakitnya? Show me where it is. Tunjukkan di mana tempatnya. Does it hurt? Apa itu menyakitkan? What is it like? Seperti apa itu? Is it big? Apa itu besar? How big it is? Seberapa besar? How it feel? Bagaimana rasanya? What does the pain look like? Seperti apa rasa sakitnya? When did it last? Kapan itu bertahan? Next. What was the worst pain you felt? Apa rasa sakit terparah yang Anda rasakan? Does it bother you activity? Apa itu mengganggu aktivitas Anda? Can you still move your arm? Apa kamu masih bisa menggerakkan tanganmu? Can you eat spicy? Bisakah kamu makan pedas? When did you first notice it? Kapan Anda pertama kali menyadarinya? How long does it last? Berapa lama itu bertahan? How often does it happen? Seberapa sering hal itu terjadi? How long have you suffered from it? Sudah berapa lama Anda menderita karenanya? Do you suffer it frequently? Apa Anda sering mengalaminya? Next. What did you do before that? Apa yang kamu lakukan sebelumnya? Did you clean your house before? Apa Anda pernah membersihkan rumah Anda sebelumnya? Is it dizzy? Apakah gatal? Does it hurt? Apa itu menyakitkan? Do you vomit? Apakah kamu muntah? Do you feel better now? Apakah Anda merasa lebih baik sekarang?
Thank you, Autika. I will continue about reading. Okay. Reading title is dengue fever symptoms. Dengue fever is endemic in tropical and subtropical areas. Dengue fever is estimated by the World Health Organization, or WHO, to cause about 50 to 100 million infections per year worldwide. The U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, or CDC, considers dengue fever to cause the majority of acute febrile illness in travelers returning to the U.S. The first clinical report of dengue fever was in 1789 by B. Rush, although the Chinese may have described the disease associated with flying insects as early as 420 AD. Africans describe Ka Dinga Pepo as crumb-like seizures caused by an evil spirit. The Spanish may have changed Dinga to Dengue since it means fastidious or careful in Spanish, which describes the gait of people trying to reduce the pain of walking. Fortunately, the disease incidence seems to be increasing. Researchers suggest the surge in dengue fever may be due to several factors. First, increased urban crowding with more sites for mosquitoes to develop. Number two, international commerce that contains infected mosquitoes is introducing the disease to areas previously free of the disease. Number three, local and world environmental changes that allow mosquitoes to survive the winter month. Number four, international travelers who carry the disease to areas where mosquitoes have not been previously infected. Dengue has spread widely throughout the world. The WHO distribution map shows that dengue fever mainly occurs in tropical and subtropical areas. In the US, dengue fever has been detected in California, Florida, Texas, and Hawaii. Other areas where it has been detected or there has been an outbreak of the disease include the Philippines, Taiwan, Samoa, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Thailand, and New Delhi. However, as climates warm, experts suggest dengue will become more prevalent. In 2015, an outbreak of dengue fever occurred in New Delhi. The worst in 5 years, over 10,000 people tested positive for dengue fever. There have been at least 32 deaths attributed to this outbreak. State-run hospitals were so overcrowded that patients were sharing beds. An independent group, Brandeis University, suggests the actual number of people in India with dengue are vastly underreported. Itu membahas mengenai gejala demam berdarah. Oke, saya bacakan translate-nya. Jadi demam berdarah endemik di daerah tropis dan subtropis. Demam berdarah diperkirakan oleh Organisasi Kesehatan Dunia atau kita sering sebutnya yaitu WHO menyebabkan sekitar 50 sampai 100 juta infeksi per tahun di seluruh dunia. Pusat Pengendalian dan Pencegahan Penyakit Amerika atau CDC menganggap demam berdarah sebagai penyebab mayoritas penyakit demam akut pada pelancong yang kembali ke Amerika. Nah, laporan klinis pertama demam berdarah dilakukan pada tahun 1789 oleh B. Rush, yaitu penyakit yang berhubungan dengan serangga terbang sejak tahun 420 Masehi. Orang Afrika menggambarkan dengan kalimat kadinga pepo sebagai kejang seperti kram yang disebabkan oleh roh jahat. Nah, kalau bahasa Spanyol itu sudah mengubahnya dinga yang ada di kalimat kadinga pepo orang Afrika itu menjadi demam atau dengue atau dengue. Menjadi demam berdarah karena artinya teliti atau hati-hati dalam bahasa Spanyol. Yang menggambarkan gaya orang yang mencoba mengurangi rasa sakit saat berjalan. Nah, sayangnya kejadian penyakit tampaknya terus meningkat. Peneliti menyarankan lonjakan demam berdarah mungkin karena beberapa faktor. Yang pertama yaitu meningkatnya kepadatan kota dengan lebih banyak situs untuk nyamuk berkembang. Kemudian faktor yang kedua yaitu perdagangan internasional yang mengandung nyamuk yang terinfeksi, sehingga memperkenalkan penyakit ke daerah yang sebelumnya bebas penyakit. Kemudian faktor yang ketiga yaitu perubahan lingkungan lokal dan dunia yang memungkinkan nyamuk bertahan hidup selama berbulan-bulan di musim dingin. Kemudian faktor yang keempat yaitu pelancong internasional yang membawa penyakit ini ke daerah di mana nyamuk belum pernah terinfeksi sebelumnya. Itu adalah beberapa faktor atau 4 faktor yang dikemukakan oleh peneliti yang menyebabkan lonjakan demam berdarah. Oke, lanjut. Demam berdarah telah menyebar luas ke seluruh dunia. Nah, WHO menyebarkan peta yang menunjukkan bahwa demam berdarah terutama terjadi di daerah tropis dan subtropis. Di Amerika, demam berdarah telah terdeteksi di California, Florida, Texas, dan Hawaii. Kemudian, daerah lain di mana telah terdeteksi atau telah terjadinya wabah penyakit termasuk yaitu Filipina, Taiwan, Samoa, Brazil, Puerto Rico, Costa Rica, Thailand, dan New Delhi di India. Namun, saat iklim hangat, para ahli menyarankan demam berdarah akan menjadi lebih umum. Nah, kemudian pada tahun 2015, wabah demam berdarah terjadi di New Delhi atau di India, terparah dalam 5 tahun terakhir. Lebih dari 10.000 orang dinyatakan positif demam berdarah. Nah, setidaknya ada 32 kematian yang dikaitkan dengan wabah ini. Rumah sakit yang dikelola negara begitu penuh dan sesak sehingga pasien berbagi tempat tidur. Sebuah kelompok independen yaitu Universitas Brandeis menyatakan bahwa jumlah sebenarnya penderita demam berdarah di India sangat tidak dilaporkan. Oke, itu translate dari text reading yang dibacakan. Jadi membahas mengenai demam berdarah.
The material will be continued by the third speaker, Bella Amelia Catherine.
Okay, Isma, thank you. Past perfect tense. The past perfect tense is a form of sentence or expression that describes an action that has been complete in the past, or describes two events that have occurred but confirm which event occurred first. If in the present perfect tense we use to be has or have, then in the past perfect tense formula we use the past form of has or have, which is had. Past perfect tense ini adalah bentuk kalimat atau ungkapan yang mendeskripsikan tindakan yang telah diselesaikan di masa lampau atau mendeskripsikan dua peristiwa yang telah terjadi, tetapi menegaskan peristiwa mana yang terjadi lebih dulu. Jika pada bentuk present perfect tense, kita gunakan menjadi has or have. Maka pada rumus past perfect tense, kita menggunakan bentuk lampau dari has or have, yaitu had. Next. Past perfect tense, the use of the past perfect tense which has a function to express several states or events as follows. 1. Declare an event or incident that was perfectly done in the past. Example, I had gone to Italy with my friend. Aku telah pergi ke Italia dengan teman saya. Nah, nomor 1 itu ini tuh penggunaan past perfect tense yang memiliki fungsi untuk mengungkapkan beberapa keadaan atau kejadian. Yang pertama itu yang tadi menyatakan suatu peristiwa atau kejadian yang dilakukan dengan sempurna di masa lalu. To declare an event or incident that has occurred before a certain moment in the past. Menyatakan suatu peristiwa atau insiden yang telah terjadi sebelum momen tertentu di masa lalu. Example, I had done my English essay before 9. Aku telah mengerjakan bahasa Inggrisku sebelum pukul 9 dan ini dikatakan pada jam 12. 3. Declare an event, incident, and action that has been complete before other action occur. Nomor 3, menyatakan suatu peristiwa, insiden, dan tindakan yang telah diselesaikan sebelum tindakan lain terjadi. Example, the little girl had fallen before I helped her. Gadis itu telah jatuh sebelum aku menolongnya. Next. Past perfect tense formula. Ini ada rumus past perfect tense. Untuk positifnya, subject plus had plus verb 3. Negatif, subject plus had plus not plus verb 3. Interrogative, had plus subject plus verb 3. Past perfect tense is often used by using other sentence which are past tense which is associated with conjunctions such as when atau ketika, after, setelah, to emphasize that the perfect is in the past. Past perfect tense sering digunakan dengan menggunakan kalimat lain yaitu past tense yang diasosiasikan dengan kata sambung seperti when atau ketika, after atau setelah untuk menekankan bahwa yang sempurna ada di masa lalu. Next. Nah, ini contoh kalimatnya. Contoh kalimat dari past perfect tense. Past perfect tense dalam kalimat positif, example, he had eaten when the nurse called him. He had been taking medicine when the doctor examined him. You had studied physics before you moved to China. Untuk yang kalimat negatif, example, he had not eaten when the nurse called him. He had not been taking medicine when the doctor examined him. You had not studied physics before you moved to China. Untuk kalimat interrogatifnya, example, had he eaten when nurse called him? Had he been taking medicine when the doctor examined him? Had you studied physics before you moved to China? Next. Use the past perfect tense. Below you can read my explanation regarding the use of the past perfect tense which has a function to express several states or events as follows. A. Declare an event or incident that has been perfectly carried out in the past. Example of sentence, I had gone to Italy with my friend. Aku telah pergi ke Italia dengan temanku. Declare an event or incident that has occurred before a certain moment in the past. Example of sentence, I had done my English essay before 9. Aku telah mengerjakan bahasa Inggrisku sebelum pukul 9. C. Stating news that is not known directly or knowing it from other people. This sentence is often stated indirectly in the indirect speech. Example of sentence, he said that this mother hen sent a package. Dia mengatakan bahwa ibunya telah mengirimkan paket. In the sentence, it turned out that the past perfect must be used when the time of an event or past action is more past than other action or event. Be having the following formula: past perfect tense plus simple past tense. Example sentence, the train had come before I left. Kereta datang sebelum aku pergi. And the past perfect tense is often used in answering simple past tense questions. Example sentence, why did James go to Palembang? Kenapa James pergi ke Palembang? Because James had never been there before. Karena James belum pernah ke sana sebelumnya. Next. Characteristic of the past perfect tense. The characteristic of the past perfect tense are as mentioned below. Predicate sentence in this tense form are often had plus past participle. Example, I had listened to rock songs. Aku telah mendengarkan lagu-lagu rock. Time signal. The time signal past perfect tense which is often used in a sentence is as in the table below. Of time meaning. Before, sebelum, after, setelah, when, ketika, until, hingga, just, baru saja, as soon as, secepatnya. Jadi ini kata yang sering digunakan pada past perfect tense. Next. A sentence will feel more beautiful if the adverb of the time above is placed at the beginning or in the middle of the sentence. Polanya past perfect plus when plus past tense. Past tense plus after plus past perfect. Past perfect plus before plus past tense. Past tense plus as soon as plus past perfect. Past tense plus until plus past perfect or when plus past tense plus past perfect. Example, he come here after I had given him much money. Dia datang ke sini setelah saya telah memberikannya banyak uang. When they meet me, I had told them the problem. Ketika mereka bertemu denganku, aku telah memberitahukan masalah itu. Next.
Okay, the presentation is finished. Thank you very much for your great attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.